The things we regret can actually cause us distress in our later years, and that's why we say it's never too late to go back to your list of regrets, no matter what age you are, and fulfill every last one. Good morning and welcome to Retire Early Lifestyle. Do expats have any regrets living their dream life? What about other retirees? Regrets and regretting things in your past seems a bit harsh and extreme, and that's why we like to say, there's no use crying over spilt milk, and who knows really how things would have been different if we would have done things in a different way. Do you know what we mean? Let's begin with some of the things that expats regret the most at the end of their retirement. This can be expats living abroad or for those people who don't intend on moving abroad and are in their later years of retirement. We like to talk with everyone, at home or abroad. Number 1. Expats wish they would have retired earlier at the age of 62 or 63 instead of 72, just because they would have had more energy to enjoy their wanderlust years abroad. Unbeknownst to many, living in a foreign country is sometimes not exactly catered for older people, especially in a developing country. The sidewalks may be unwalkable, the traffic can be erratic, and may or may not stop for pedestrians. Many of the homes have steps that lead upstairs to the bedrooms. Finding a bottom floor master bedroom makes the price higher. Landlords know that Americans prefer that. We were just in Puerto Vallarta. We had a great view and everything, but to get the lower rate of just $500 instead of $1,200, we had to take an apartment that was up 3 hills plus 64 more steps to get up into the apartment. But boy, we loved the view. We lost weight the 3 months we were there, as you can imagine. So yes, we get it. Enjoying your retire early lifestyle 10 or more years earlier sure does provide a more energetic retirement abroad. And this morphs into number 2. Most retired folks wish they would have taken better care of their health when they were younger. One retired gentleman that I talked with a while back told me that he took his retirement at the age of 72 years old. 1 month after he retired, his lung collapsed.
I met this man. He was past retirement age, and he told me a little story. And he said to me that all his life he worked diligently at a job so that he could have all the coverage, all the health insurance, and all the benefits and everything, and on top of that, get a retirement after the 30 years or whatever it was, 30 years, 35 years. And then at that time, at retirement, he would be able to do all these wonderful things with his life. And then he continued, what actually happened is that just a few months before he retired, one of his lungs collapsed. I don't believe he even smoked. He could not do any of the things he had planned all his life in his retirement. None of the benefits he had that he had been paying for all of those years were able to remove the collapsed lung. There was nothing you could do about it. And so in conclusion, he told me if I would have had a crystal ball and I would have known this, I would have gladly just lived in a shack just so I could be free and enjoy my life now. He feels like he was cheated.
He went on to tell me that his biggest regret was not taking better care of his health. Perhaps he would have been in better shape and had more energy to do the things in his retirement that he wanted to do. This man is not alone in his unfortunate health decline. We're all aging. But the issue people have with retiring early is less money back from Social Security. But the problem with that thinking is, will Social Security even be around in 10 to 20 years? We believe it is more important to take your retirement as soon as you can so you'll still have the energy and stamina to enjoy walking, hiking, bicycling, and not having impediments such as steps and that kind of thing. We're really happy we decided to start taking care of our health when we were young because we're still healthy enough in our retirement years at 62 and 63 to enjoy doing some of the things we really like to do, such as walking and hiking. We'll tell you how we're doing in 10 years. We think anyone can take their retirement at 62 if they have the right attitude. We're really good at being industrious, and so we find different ways to be frugal and yet live a comfortable retirement on less. It is a skill to live more frugally, but the biggest reason why most people aren't doing it is because it's not in their attitude to do so. Our attitude is to be willing to think and do things differently, outside of the box. Doing things the way everyone else does is expensive. Finding your options and actually applying those options into your life is the industriousness we're talking about. Number 3, we had an expat couple tell us they wish they would have gone abroad sooner so they could have taken the children abroad with them. Usually once the children become young adults, they're not too thrilled about moving abroad with their parents. But when the children are smaller, well, they're usually enthusiastic of doing anything fun with mom and dad. So what's happening is expats miss their children and grandchildren, and that's why they wish they would have figured out a way to go abroad sooner and have family with them abroad. That's what we did. We went abroad with our young adult sons, and they were ready for the adventure. However, there are other things to consider when moving abroad with your adult children, and that is they may get married, and then when you want to move back home and you have married sons in other countries, well, that's a whole other challenge in itself, isn't it? Number 4. Many retired expats wish they would have been more invested and invested earlier. With the way things are going nowadays, with the high inflation, that pension or Social Security doesn't really allow for many retirees to splurge like they would like to. Inflation is raging its tentacles in all countries abroad. Everyone is feeling the heat. In fact, people are moving to cheaper countries just so they can have a decent standard of living. We get that, but we don't think moving to a cheaper country is the answer for most people, just because of all the things we talk about on this channel. Number 5. Many expats say this is one of their biggest regrets, and that is selling their house or condo in North America before moving abroad. Why do you think that is? Why would someone regret selling their home? Well, because they want to move back to their country and they don't have a place to live. That would be our first guess. With rents the way they are now in the U.S., skyrocketing out of control, owning your own home is a financial benefit. Housing prices are way out of line as well. This is something we've been telling people for a long time on this channel. Do not sell your house in the USA before moving abroad. We know that 90% of expats move back home after 1 to 3 years. Some of them stay abroad longer, but most eventually move back home, and that's why we recommend to not sell your home. So what can you do with your home or condo while living abroad? Well, there are a couple of things you can do, such as rent it out to tenants. Or you could do a 1 to 2 year home exchange for a home in the country that you want to live in. Or you could have one of your children stay in it for you while you go abroad. Or, and finally, you can even hire a caretaker to take care of the outside of the property for allowing them to hook up their RV on site. So there is always someone there watching after the place. So there you go. We just provided you with 4 ways to keep your home in North America while you go abroad for a year or 2. And yes, since you won't be selling your home, you can leave all of your belongings behind too. You'll be so happy to go back home to your familiar surroundings with all of your things. You'll thank us for talking you into not selling your house. And here are a few other regrets people have in their later retirement years. Some retirees wish they learned more skills or enjoyed more of the things they love to do, such as hobbies. Some retirees wish they would have spent more time with children and grandchildren. Some of them wish that they would have had better relationships with their children. And then finally, some retirees wish they lived their life more faith-based and were a bit kinder and loving with people. It's a fact, many people become more spiritual and closer to God when they are nearing their end. The things we regret can actually cause us distress in our later years, and that's why we say it's never too late to go back to your list of regrets, no matter what age you are, and fulfill every last one. Believe it, and it will become a reality, and that's because it's all in your attitude. Turn your regrets into joy and peace at the end of your retirement years. Okay, so that's going to be a wrap-up for this video. Take care, everyone. Until next video, have a great day.